Hello students, welcome to Dr. Deepa Dahake's NEET Biology, and in today's session we study about the law of independent assortment from class 12th chapter 5th. Already we completed about the law of dominance and Mendelian inheritance. When you studied about the Mendelian inheritance, so you know that what is monohybrid cross, what is dihybrid cross, as well as the incomplete dominance and codominance. But when we come towards the law of independent assortment, so here you remember this law actually proposed by the Karl Correns when they study the post-Mendelian inheritance. And in post-Mendelian inheritance, in new coming sessions, we study about that topic. So, we studied that the Mendel's law again rediscovered by, or Mendel's inheritance rediscovered by the three scientists, that is De Vries, Shimark and Karl Correns. So, these three scientists rediscovered the Mendelian work, and the Correns was the scientist, Karl Correns, who proposed this law, that is the law of independent assortment. When we come towards the law, so we as it is read that law and you students mug up that law, because this is one of the important question for your theory exam. And for objective purpose, one question repeatedly asks for this law, that which among the following law is required dihybrid cross for the explanation. So you remember the law of dominance and the law of segregation is explained by monohybrid cross. But if you want to explain the law of independent assortment, so you at least required the dihybrid cross, or you can explain it with polyhybrid cross. So these introductory part you remember for the law of independent assortment. Now we come towards what is law. Independent assortment. Assortment I already told you. Assortment means the separation or the transfer of genes from one generation to another generation. So when we state this law, I already write the law here. According to this law, you remember the alleles of a two pair. Again you remember here, the important part in the law is that the alleles of two pair. Why two pair? Because at least we have to need a dihybrid cross for explanation. So alleles of two pair of traits separate independently. When will be they separate? Of each pair or from each other, either during the gamete formation or during the spore formation also, and get randomly rearranged in the offsprings at the time of fertilization. During fertilization, after fertilization, when the zygote is formed, so that zygote receive the one chromosome from the paternal side and another chromosome of the same pair from the maternal side, and for that purpose the independent assortment of the genes or the independent assortment of the chromosome is required. So this law you remember as it is, no need to modify this law in your own language. Secondly, when we come towards the explanation, so for explanation we again select the example that when we made a cross between round and yellow seed as well as the wrinkled and green seed, then upon crossing in F2 we directly come towards F2 generation, because we already studied the dihybrid cross in last session. So when we come towards F2 generation, so in F2 generation the four different types of phenotypes are produced in 9 ratio, 3 ratio, 3 ratio, 1. Here you pay attention when we study 9 parent progenies or offsprings. So 9 progenies are round yellow seed, 3 progenies are round and with green seed. The three progenies here you remember again. The three progenies are wrinkled and yellow, and the one progeny is wrinkled and green. This part you remember. Now if you come towards the independent assortment, and one trait you study. Independent assortment means simply you remember when the dominant R gene or the chromosome where the dominant R is present, this dominant R gene transfer from one parent to of F1 hybrid or from F1 hybrid to F2 generation. So the assortment of dominant R is not dependent on dominant Y or any another gene. Though the capital dominant Y is present or absent, the dominant R or the gene for roundness is transported or assorted on its own. So this part you remember, and here we mainly discuss about the 1-1 characters. Among these 9:3:3:1 ratio when you study, so if you count the progeny for round shape of the seed, so how many progenies out of 16 show the roundness of the seed, or this R gene is independently assorted in how many progeny among the 16 offsprings. So round here you remember these 9 progenies are also showing round shape, and these 3 progeny are also show the round shape. So round shape you appear in 9 plus 3, that means out of 16, the 12 progenies are showing the roundness of the seed. If you come towards the yellowness, the yellowness also you appear in the same way. The dominant character is transported in most of the progeny. So yellow color of the seed if you coming towards, so yellow color is also appear in 9 progeny, that the round seeds are yellow, and the 3 wrinkle seeds are also show the yellow color. So here again 9 plus 3 means you remember the dominant trait is appear in 12 progenies or 12 offspring, you can say the 12 offsprings out of the 16. If you come towards the green color, these are the recessive traits, green and wrinkle. So if you come towards the green color of the seed, so green color of seed you appear in 3 as well as in 1 progeny. So green color you remember among 16 progenies, the green color is appear in total 4 progeny. That means the 3 progeny and 1 progeny. So total 4 progeny expressing the green color. And similarly, if you come towards the wrinkleness of the seed, so wrinkleness of the seed is also appear in 3 plus 1, that is only 4 progeny. So this expressed by this independent assortment, that the dominant genes are expressed on their own, recessive genes also expressed on their own, their assortment from parents to gamete and from gamete to zygote or in next generation is not dependent on any another chromosome or on any another pair of a gene. And that's why the out of 16 in F2 generation, out of 16 progeny, the dominant traits are appear in more and the recessive traits are appear in less. And if you show the ratio of dominant and recessive trait, here the round shape is appear in 12 offsprings and the wrinkleness is appear in 4 offspring, and 12 ratio 4 if you obtain. So again the similar ratio you obtain, that is a 3 ratio 1. So if you come towards the assortment ratio, so the roundness as well as wrinkledness, round and wrinkledness when you appear, so round are 12 plants show the round seeds and the 4 progenies or the offsprings are showing wrinkleness of the seed. And when you appear the ratio, so ratio here you appear again the ratio is just like a monohybrid cross, that is 3 ratio 1. Similarly the same ratio you appear for the color, the dominant color is appear in 12 progeny and the green color is appear in 4 progeny. And again for a single trait or color, when you obtain a ratio, so 12:4 or you can say the 3:1 is appear. So it indicate that though the traits we study in dihybrid cross or in polyhybrid cross, but they always follow the law of dominancy, and secondly they follow the law of independent assortment. And according to that, though you study about the dihybrid cross, but if you study the individual trait or the transfer of individual gene for a particular trait or particular character, so they always show the ratio of 3:ratio in F2 generation, even in terms of 3:1. So this much you remember for the law of independent assortment, as this unit is quite difficult for the children's. Secondly, all these things they studied for the first time in class 12, because the cell and all the things you those study in class 11. Even after that, the structure of DNA in next topics we study post-Mendelian inheritance, chromosomal inheritance, that you study for the first time. So that's why I am coming with very short topic, and slowly we are coming towards the next topic. So with this I sum up my today's session, and the students who are new for the session, they kindly subscribe my channel, like my videos and share my videos. And up to next session, all the students stay motivated and stay blessed.